Okay, I'd like to welcome everybody tonight. This is the regular meeting of the Leonard Village Council. Today is June 12th, 2017. I'd like to ask everyone to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and a brief invocation.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Heavenly Father, we ask that you guide this meeting, guide those who are making decisions, and may they be in the best interest of this village.
Okay, we have a roll call for attendance of the Village Council.
President McDonald,
Here.
Trustee Sotheby is here, Trustee Almiranti,
Here.
Trustee Hoffman,
Here.
and Trustee Kennedy.
Here. I'd like to note for the record that both Cindy Grosstoff and Treasurer Judy Burse were excused. They've been out of town for several days. And village trustee, Char Sotheby, has very sincerely accepted the responsibility of taking minutes tonight. So bear with us if we have to take a pause now and again for her to catch up. Okay, with that, council has before it the minutes of the May 8th, 2017 meeting. Are there any questions, changes, or corrections? If none, a motion to approve the minutes would be in order.
I'll second. I'll make the motion to approve the minutes from the May 8th.
And supported by Mr. Huffman. Are there any questions on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor of the approval of the minutes of May 8th, 2017, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say no. Council has before it an agenda for this evening. Are there any, it should have 5 items in new business and 5 items in old business. So on the same page. You should have found one there in the packet. So if it's acceptable, a motion to approve the agenda as is would be in order.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll second it.
Any questions on the agenda motion? Hearing none, all in favor of the agenda as accepted, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say no. Okay. Council has before it the treasurer's report for the month of May. Are there any questions, changes, or corrections? If none, the motion to receive and file the report would be in order.
I'd like to make a motion to accept the treasurer's report from May 2017.
I'll second it.
There. Okay. Are there any questions on the motion? Hearing none, we have a roll call, please, Sheriff.
Trustee Almiranti,
Yes.
Trustee Hoffman,
Yes.
Trustee Kennedy,
Yes.
President McDonald,
Yes.
Trustee Sotheby, yes.
Okay. Council has before it the bills or accounts payable for the month of May and the amounts stipulated. Are there any questions, changes, or corrections? If none, a motion to pay the bills would be in order.
I'll make a motion to pay the bills. In the general fund, it would be $5,877.92. The major fund would be $2,803.21. And local will be $539. On the mill and park, $225.
No, that's
$450.
$400.
Oh, $450. Okay, $450. Sorry about that.
I'll second.
Supported by Mr. Kennedy. Okay. Are there any questions on the bills? Hearing none, roll call vote to pay the bills for May.
Trustee Hoffman,
Yes.
Trustee Kennedy,
Yes.
President McDonald,
Yes.
Trustee Sotheby, yes.
Trustee Almarante?
Yes.
Okay, moving on to public comment. This is an opportunity for anybody that's here to address the village council. You should be aware that if you are here about a particular item that is on the agenda, you'll have an opportunity to speak to it at that time. We ask that you be brief and to the point and address the council, and I will respond if there is a response. So does anybody care to address the council? Okay. Hearing none, we'll move on to new business. Tonight we have several resolutions for the village council for recognizing people that have contributed or recognizing some historical aspect. This is not generally the case, but this evening it's my pleasure to be able to do that, to handle them. And the first one is an Eagle Scout resolution. The village council in the village would like to recognize an Eagle Scout who chose the village for his community service project to become an Eagle Scout. And he chose to build a stairway system for the Leonard Mill to make it possible for the public to be able to access it at some point in the hopefully near future. I'd like to read the resolution, or the council has read it. Is there a motion to offer the resolution and a support?
I'd like to make a motion to support the resolution as presented.
Is there,
I'll support.
okay. Whereas the Village of Leonard wishes to express its appreciation for the Eagle Scout Community Service Project performed for the public benefit at the Leonard Mill Park in the Village of Leonard, and whereas Eagle Scout candidate Charlie Osmond did choose the stairs construction project in the Village of Leonard at the Leonard Mill Park, and together with Troop 377 coordinated the construction and placement of the stairway to safely access the interior of the Leonard Mill, and whereas the project required the planning and fundraising to achieve the goals of construction and entailed the coordination of volunteers, securing funds, enlisting fellow scouts, and communication with all concerned parties, and whereas having performed the project in a professional and workmanlike manner by constructing an access stairway for the mill and installing it, resulting in a completed project to the great satisfaction of the village in a timely manner, now therefore be it resolved that the village council for the Village of Leonard hereby expresses the appreciation and thanks of the village council, its residents, and the public for the performance, dedication, and service of Scout Charlie Osmond in his choice of the Eagle Scout Community Service Project for the Village of Leonard. And we thank him for his contribution to the community. Charlie? Here we go. Thank you for coming tonight. You want a picture, Dan? Yeah. Come on up here, Dad. You've earned this one. Thank you. Very good. Good day. Okay. Yeah, we need to vote on that. All in favor of the resolution passed by the village council? Opposed, please say no. Show that as a unanimous vote. The next item is another recognition for a longtime village resident who is kind of self-explanatory in the reading. Council has it. Is there a motion to adopt the resolution? Any support?
So I'll make a motion to adopt.
I'll second this. Thank you. Okay, this is a citizen recognition resolution. Whereas the Village of Leonard promotes and recognizes the efforts of its residents and property owners to beautify and maintain their homes, gardens, and landscapes in a positive and appealing manner. Whereas the Leonard Village Council on occasion recognizes the efforts of individual property owners who through their industry and effort, often despite unusual or adverse conditions, create outstanding flower and yard enhancements. Whereas neighbors and friends often express private appreciation of such efforts, but on occasion, the village is contacted or learns about special efforts that result in less recognized but often beautiful gardens resulting from years of effort and dedication. And whereas such expressions of appreciation have been made of the home of Mrs. Vera Frost at 128 East Elmwood, and the Village Council wishes to recognize Mrs. Vera Frost for her long-standing efforts to maintain her cherished garden and yard. Now therefore be it resolved that the Village Council for the Village of Leonard hereby expresses the appreciation and thanks of the Village Council, its residents, and public for the time, effort, and long-standing beauty seen in Mrs. Vera Frost's efforts to keep and maintain her gardens in an attractive and appreciated appearance. Be it further resolved that in recognition of her 93 years old, of age, and her continued personal dedication and personal attention to her property, she weeds it and plants it. We'd like to give her the heartfelt congratulations and wishes for good health and for setting an example for all of us to appreciate and to express our thanks for her efforts. So I'd like to ask for a roll call vote for adoption of this resolution. She could not make it this evening, unfortunately.
Trustee Kennedy?
Yes.
President McDonald?
Yes.
Trustee Sotheby, yes. Trustee Almighty?
Yes.
Trustee Hoffman?
Yes. Okay. Next item on the agenda are the Smart Municipal Credits for 2018. As in the past, Council, we received 380 credits for smart operations. That's what the village qualified for. I'm recommending that, as we have in the past, that we transfer those credits to the North Oakland Transportation Authority, and that the council authorize the village president to do so. So I appreciate the resolution to that effect. Mr. Hoff. Supported by Mr. Elmer. Are there any questions on the motion? You okay with it? Hearing none. This is a monetary transfer in effect, so we'll do a roll call on it, please.
President McDonald?
Yes.
Trustee Sotheby, yes. Trustee Almighty?
Yes.
Trustee Hoffman?
Yes.
Trustee Kennedy?
Yes. Very good. Moving on to item 4. Council members received a copy of the Oakland County Cooperative Invasive Species Management Contract or Agreement. By way of explanation, again, there is no monetary obligation in joining this group. What it is it's an independent organization that tries to arrange funding through state and private sources to address invasive. I believe they stopped a water hyacinth growth in one of the lakes in Oakland County, and they have ongoing efforts. It's translated into millions of dollars in grants and matching funds to fight invasives. So we're under no obligation to join. However, in joining, if we do have a problem and could benefit from grant funding, we would have that opportunity to do so. We would probably have to have some matching funds, but it's kind of like the West Nile program with the county. We would put up so much money and they would put up the balance, and it would all be arranged. So I recommended to the council that we join this because most of the communities in this area have, and we're all impacted by the invasives. But it is up to the pleasure of the council. Discussion?
What's it cost us to do that for a year?
Nothing. There's no cost. But the only cost cost is if you want to get a part of the grant, any grant that may be out there that they obtain. If you want it for your community, you pay a matching amount. There's no formula for that.
Do they provide information?
Yes, absolutely.
Well, I'd like to make a motion to come involved with the invasive species management.
I'll second.
Are there any questions on the motion or?
What exactly is it? I mean,
It's a group of, it's not just communities. All communities are welcome, but also there are other organizations like the trail councils in Oakland County and things like that that have invasive species problems. So the idea is to educate the public, obtain funding, which is the biggest part of it, and then apply it in local communities.
how would it benefit? I mean, how does it benefit us as a whole?
Is it mostly plant species that?
Generally, it's, right now, the biggest problem is with plants. A lot of the aquatic invasives are already pretty much established. So the goal is to address all of them as may be possible. Any other comments? Okay, then I'll ask for a voice vote. All in favor of the village, all those in favor of authorizing the village to join the Oakland County Cooperative Invasive Species Management Council, or SISMA, as it's called, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, please say no. Okay, moving on. We have one final resolution before we move to old business, and that's a historical resolution from our neighbors in Canada. They'd like us to pass a motion recognizing that Canada is preparing to serve or to mark our 150th anniversary of nationhood on July 1st. So they've asked if we would declare July 1st, 2017, and I'm not related, as the John A. McDonald Canada Day in Leonard, as a tribute to the historic and proudly continuing friendship between Canada and the United States. So, what is the pleasure of the council? It's MAC, I'm MC.
Yes, curious, how many other communities have been canvassed with this request?
I would have to guess that there are quite a few. The person that did it, or that are doing it, are volunteers, and they're writing to leaders in America, Canada's best friend in the world, and asking for their assistance. And we did the same thing in our bicentennial. You know, we got resolutions from all around the world. So I don't see why not. Let's put Leonard on the map of Canada.
How's she going, eh?
What is the pleasure of the council? Shall we adopt a proclamation recognizing Canada's 150th?
So make sure you tell work it's National Canada Day Leonard and you can't go.
Is that our strawberry shop?
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion
Are there any questions on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor of adopting the proclamation recognizing Canada's 150th anniversary of nationhood, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say no. Okay. Moving on to old business, Elmwood Street project. It is progressing. It is in MDOT's hands at this time. We're waiting for their comments and hopefully approval. We expect probably a July bid letting with a September start date for the project. There's no motion required on that one.
You know what he's talking about?
We're digging road.
Okay. Yeah, we're repaving out most of Elmwood Street.
You guys can save some money, I'll take all the asphalt buildings.
We've asked for that
As
as
the
well.
last one, they're a little 300 truck, I was like, you're nuts, I need to go my yard.
Okay,
Okay.
all right. Next item is 4285 Forest Street. The status is pretty much that we've exhausted all of the voluntary efforts. The attorneys for the owners keep telling us that it's going to get taken care of, but it has not. And I'm guessing that a lot of people are here tonight about that one. All I can say is I'm as upset about it as you are, believe it or not. The problem is that we have to follow procedures, the laws, and the village attorney recommended that we try to work with the person first so we don't have to pay him and the court to address the situation. It looks like we're going to have to go to court because the stalling has gone on long enough. And I'm going to ask the council tonight for authorization to do that. It's a pretty big step and it's a pretty costly step, but in this case, I think it's warranted. And it does include, they have also drafted a notification as well, and they've been told verbally by our attorney to get the grass cut as well. Those are really the only two things that we can address as far as the property goes. As far as the structure goes, we don't have a property management ordinance. We've talked about one on several occasions. Mr. Kennedy wasn't a trustee, but Larry and Paul and Sharon may remember. And there was some opposition to it because it does give the village more power to force upkeep, particularly on rental properties and things like that. So it was kind of struck down. It didn't sound like a favorable thing. But we can revisit that again if the council and the residents are willing to support the idea.
I absolutely think that should be revisited.
We are also in the midst of, actually we're finishing up the codification of the village ordinance. What that means is that we are working from ordinances that are dated back in some of them in the early 70s and late 60s. And some of them are difficult to enforce in today's legal climate.
But even with the grass cutting situations, if a resident around does not cut their grass, you will send somebody in and you ticket them. How many tickets have they been issued for this so
Right.
far?
I initially threatened to ticket them from the get-go, but as I indicated, their attorney said that it's an out-of-state company that owns the property, as it turns out. And we had a very difficult time. We still have not we've only gotten their name. Their attorney has not given us their address, even though we requested it. And the property transfers there have not been any changes in the ownership of that property for 8 years.
He ran into somebody on Saturday.
The last people that were here years ago, when that company that bought out of South Carolina did the rental owner lease option they did, I think it was last year or the year before, I had to go over to my toe behind and cut the grass over there because it was 2 feet tall again. Well, the same people, what they're doing is they're doing lease to own, rent to own, or buy out cash, kind of deal. And I ran into a guy over there Saturday changing the locks, and I go, what's going on? He's an independent subcontractor, so, he was explaining the process. He goes, that could take up to another month, to deal with this stuff. And he goes, other cities in other areas, let's just say West Bloomfield, for example, that will apply.
Oh,
They will go back a dump truck, do a special dump delivery. The dump company will bill them like $2,000 to $5,000 for that pickup. Now, other cities, if it's over 8 inches, they'll go through there and cut it and then add it to their taxes at the end of the year. But this ain't the first time it's happened. It's like, okay, they're not opposed to no trespassing, so technically legally by law, you're not trespassing. They got that tractor, I see them trying to the side of the road. Why can't somebody roll through there and just kind of
And Bill,
clean it up?
that is the plan. But again, we have to follow procedure, because if we were to damage anything or of nerves or whatever, they would make a claim that we did it.
But it's not posting no trespassing legally.
No, that's not the case. Legally, you can go to the front door of the property of a home and ask permission to be on the property, but you can't just, the village can't just go over there and do stuff. I understand. It's just, this has been a
You
long
do with
path.
people like us that are 2 and 3 doors down, I don't want rats. I am working my butt off to have a beautiful yard and have kids running around and I don't need rats. There's food in coolers sitting over there.
Right.
You walk over, it's disgusting. I do not want rats and bugs
What
and
about
animals.
Steve to the rescue? One of the news stations loving stuff.
Because
I was
it's
thinking of calling
disgusting.
the prosecutor, like fire.
Yeah.
I talked to an attorney up there too, and the attorney gave me an answer.
He was
I got there,
so
to come back with the attorney, and all they had the door, he will get to take care of Glenn, you know?
Yeah, he said, well, I don't know, my garbage can't pick it up. Steve goes, it's 20 feet, 20 foot.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm very familiar
I
with this
said-
property. Obviously, you're not, because you're not looking at it, you're not familiar with it, if you don't know what you're talking about, this lawyer.
Well, I sent him pictures of it as well.
Yeah.
People, but my people are now adding more garbage to the pile.
Yeah.
They're stocking and putting more garbage on. Who gave the order for them to take all of that out of that house in the first place?
Apparently, the property.
They sure.
They probably evicted most likely.
But who took all that out and put it there? Because those people were already out of that house. Who physically went in there and took all that out of there?
It wasn't the village, that's all I can tell you. And I can tell you that in more regulated communities that have the proper ordinance language adopted, you can take action faster.
You know, we start doing it and make that our priority over the
As far as the grass goes, we already have that. We have the 8-inch limit, but you all know how things grow in the last 30 days.
Well, it's ridiculous, I just,
We are acting on that, and they have 10 days to respond, at which time then we can do it. And
I talked to
that's
them
what
a
we're
week and a half ago, and you talked to them too, so we're open 10 days.
No, I didn't notify them until today of the grass.
But the lawyer you spoke to, because he already had your name on it.
Yeah, but we didn't know, see, that's a different matter. We have to handle the junk and debris in that's one case, so to speak. And then, that's a different ordinance. And then we have to handle the grass and that under another ordinance.
What happens if there's a grass fire? I'm serious.
I mean,
There's a grass fire.
this was.
It's so dry right now, yeah.
It's a bonfire. What should I do?
It's the same problem that we would have with a vacant lot or somebody else with I have a field behind my house that has, I mow it around the perimeter, but not in the middle. And,
Well, why would someone call the news? They love that. They love to come out and report on that. I mean,
And now that there's a sign with that out of state air
why would
number,
do you want me to call Channel 7? I'll call Steve. Steve to the rescue. They love that channel. And it's either a yes or no. You give them a story, it's a yes or no. They come in, make a big hoopla, they start investigating, trying to get behind the stuff that no one else can find out.
I can't speak, and I wouldn't presume to tell anybody what to do. As much as I would like to be able to tell the property owners what I think of them and the attorney that's handling it, because I really don't believe, the attorney's the only one that stands to gain anything by this thing going to court.
He's an ass.
So why is he not urging the property owner to do more? You know, I can't answer that, but that's a variable that, as a village, we don't have any control over. We have to follow the law, and our laws say we have to do it this way, each step by step. However, I do promise that the village will be in a position to mow that property long before the Strawberry Festival and any concerns. And
About the trash.
we'll do it legally.
so if you got hold of them today, you said for the lawn, so it's been over 10 days that they told you in 10 days, last Friday, they would have the garbage cleaned up. Have you contacted them about that
Well,
issue again?
Yeah, our village attorney has spoken with their attorney last Friday and again today.
But who's paying for this attorney now? Our tax dollars?
The village is.
Are they gonna go after that place to make?
Well, that is what we will have to do. You see, it's a catch-22 because it may cost us 1,000, 2,000 in attorney fees, and if we clean, and if we charge, we have to pay for a tractor operator, and if we were actually to be able to do the cleanup, that adds up to a lot of money, and we still have to go to court. The court's gonna order them to clean it up and to cut the grass, there's no question about it, but it's a matter of we have to go through the process. Otherwise, we're on the hook for the money, and it could be several $1,000s.
I think everybody's just need to start blowing these people's phones up now every single day.
I know, it's been the longest 3.5 weeks, I think, I've ever seen it.
It's just ridiculous, and people are taking advantage of the situation, it makes sense we ain't got those ordinances, I'm not saying get strict like city ordinance, but a city walk in there, they cut the lawn, they bill on their taxes.
Yeah.
I don't need.
But that could be some new
Well, we just have to-
updates.
I think that ordinance needs to be revisited for
That's the
rentals.
biggest house problem around here.
I think that ordinance for rentals needs to be revisited. It needs to go, we made a motion to redo it.
Right.
There's so many houses that look like crap around here.
Kind of being strict about stuff, and I think people are worried about putting more control.
Right? There's a few of them in town that take care of it.
Allow the leniency, but then you also have to back
Fair.
fire if somebody wants to eat.
Right.
You know, especially with these rental houses.
There's absolutely no pride in this.
I mean, just all in general, it's like, we got orders, we got orders.
No, you're absolutely right.
You know?
Yeah.
The way the current ordinances are, we can address the grass, we can address the sanitary conditions because it's a public nuisance, but we can't address the management of the property, be it a bad roof, unless it's a danger to the community, and then we have a hazardous building ordinance. But this may or may, probably doesn't qualify. But we would still have to get our building inspector in there. We can't even get the name, we can only get the name of the owner, we haven't got it addressed, officially. We have to get it officially in order for us to have a proper legal case.
I'll look it up, so I see if I find anything, because they got that new number out there with the website or something, to contact them all personally, maybe they're lucky.
I did call on Saturday, but of course, we gotta leave a message. And there was a prompt, like number 3 at that number that's on the sign. It said, if you're concerned, resident or a neighbor, and you've got any concerns about one of our properties, please leave a message. Well, it's Tuesday, and I've heard from them, so.
Perhaps you should call and say you're interested in purchasing the property, maybe they would show up.
There's a legal department, I
Yeah.
guess, you can try and get through too, so.
Yeah.
I've tried, their attorney took my first 2 phone calls in the first 2 weeks. And then after that, he wouldn't come to the phone, so
Right,
it was over 2 weeks ago now that I contacted our attorney
right.
and got him involved.
Sounds like a road trip.
So at this time, I guess, first of all, I want the council to know that I'm recommending that we take legal action, we authorize the attorney to go to court, file whatever paperwork is necessary to not only clean it up, but also to recover any costs, damage, et cetera, that may have been caused by this situation.
Any cost we incur, so you gotta put that.
Right,
Yeah.
right. And that we do it as expeditiously as possible. I mean, we could, but as he explained to me, 30 days ago, if we had started the process, we still would not have gotten a hearing. The hearings now would take 30 to 45 days. And when we first contacted them, their attorney said, I'm in touch with the property owner and we are going to clean it up. And he had promised right up until last Friday that was the last, that he had promised our attorney that as of last Friday, the mess would be gone. And it obviously isn't.
Right.
And that was the van that he had run into on Saturday. He was a subcontractor, he said, I'm here to change the locks, and I'm bidding out the garbage removal and grass cut.
Yeah.
So it sounds like he's just gonna bid them out and give the lawyer the bids, but, I mean, who knows how long that could take.
Well, and that's why,
But at least
we
it's
gave them a generous amount of time to do something and they've done nothing. So now we need to get really serious about it. That was the plan right along.
It's just sad it's taking this long,
I agree. And it is, it's embarrassing as well as a hazard to have that situation. And I wish I wish there was a better answer.
Well, it's just scrappy, because I mean, if you really take it into context, you get a little kid or something that's walking up the road with some water or something, you don't know what's in that line. You know?
It's not even that, it's all the people on double down on the trail too. Riding bikes and walking.
You borrow that bridge right for $1.
Did anybody else have a comment?
I don't know. Isn't there one intermediary step you can take where a lawyer can draft a letter to the property owners and their attorney and say, you have, 15 days,
That-
then we're gonna step in as a village and cut that grass.
I did send that type of letter initially,
Okay.
and then, once the attorneys started talking, after he stopped taking my calls, I figured, well, this is going down the tubes. So I thought, well, if they hear from the village attorney, they'll know that we're serious. And obviously, they stonewalled us on that one as well. So unfortunately, I think we have to go the legal route and the expensive route, but willingly. It's not like we don't want to. It's just we try to be fair with everybody, give them a chance to act, and then if they don't, then we have to do something serious.
So, just for the record, those folks that are saying call the news or whatever, they wouldn't have to go through all these same steps to figure out who owns it. I mean, there's nobody they can apply pressure to in this situation because they don't know anything more than the village.
Well, we have to obtain our sources the right way. We've gone to the town clerk, we've been to the title companies trying to track ownership. But these holding companies probably know the routine, and so they don't file the paperwork. They don't file, they have a legal, either quit claim deed or whatever, but they don't file it. So, and they don't worry about the taxes because they go in and take care of them themselves. They don't need the current address for them to be on the record.
Yeah, this company seems like when the guy I was talking to, it said bpm3.com or whatever, he goes, that house is actually one of the better ones this company deals with, so it sounds like it's a big slum lord across the board or deal, And it's like, almost like he goes, some of these houses, he goes, I go into for this land, he goes, I cannot believe people actually physically live here. And you walk inside that house over there, it kind of should be level. Because it's like almost, I don't know if the structural's bad or whatever at that point, but he goes, it's just all the houses they deal with, he goes, it's unreal, and that was a better one. I'm like, oh, well, he just told me the rest are worse. Yeah, pretty much.
I'd be careful on the porches there because when I'm looking for the information on the windows, that front porch was in pretty bad shape.
Yeah.
Where the piano was, that thing was, I was scared to walk on it.
Yeah, that house has been neglected for
I
years.
just said the same thing when you went to the number.
Yeah,
Or it's
lawyer's
number.
Just,
Well, all I can assure you is that we're acting on it. I expect we're going to.
how do we find out follow-up, so, I mean, is there anything, you guys want to have Facebook, like, site, like, stuff for the village, Leonard, in case we can get, like,
No,
We're gonna put you on the committee to make
For some-
that,
for
we
some-
keep us all updated.
for some reason, they'll see you invite abuse. So no. You're welcome to. So, but you're welcome to contact the village office and ask for updates. Or, I can't encourage you, but if you learn something about ownership, addresses, contact, we'd be glad to hear it. You can leave a message anytime or call during office hours. Okay, yes, ma'am.
If
Yes, ma'am.
it doesn't sound like it's gonna be, like the trash or the lawn mowed, it doesn't sound like you're gonna get the trash out at a strawberry festival. Do you have the right to cover it with a tarp?
Oh, sure.
I-
What I anticipate is that after we get this legally started, our attorney's gonna ask for that right immediately because of the hazardous situation. So I don't wanna cover, I want.
I understand.
And I just wanna make sure that we recover costs for the village. Only because it's not a small mess, it's a big mess. It's gonna take a big dumpster, maybe more than one, to get that stuff out, let alone load it, the manpower, et cetera.
So if it comes down to it, you're gonna get a dumpster, clean it up
yourselves.
Oh,
Or
absolutely.
ourselves.
Yeah, we'll have to, yeah.
So it will definitely be going for the strawberry festival?
That's
Are
my
you
goal.
gonna come?
I will, yeah.
I'll be there. You set a date if you get.
To have people going in from there.
You complain about it, you can come help me it up then.
There's like dirt deals and that.
The thing is we can't take, we don't want liability because at the village, to a lawyer, we have big pockets. We're all gonna pay if we misstep at this point and do something that they can sue us for. So, we're respecting their rights as property owners.
Any idea how much they want for it?
They sold it for 25 grand, that company on stage all years ago.
That new sign just went up on Saturday. That new one that's by the roads now, so.
I'm sure it's ridiculous. I just was wondering, maybe the village might wanna try to purchase it for future use, village property.
Or, yeah, first was a
If it wasn't obviously.
We take care of private property in the village. Okay, is there any other comments on this? If none, I'd like to go back to the council and ask for a motion to authorize the village president to authorize the attorney to take whatever action necessary to address both the health and safety and welfare aspects as well as the immediate removal of the contents of the.
Sounds good.
I'd like to make a motion to support the president and working with the attorney to get this matter resolved.
I'll second
Any questions on the motion? If not, all in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say no.
Alex and Larry?
Yes, Alex and Larry. Okay. Feel free to call for updates. We're going to move as fast as the courts and the law will let us to address it. But the grass would be easier actually than the other part. Because we have a good ordinance for that. So we'll get in there. Okay, moving on to the village drainings and bid approval. The village solicited 5 companies. We got three responses. This is for jet rotting, cleaning out the village drains and catch basins. The first bid was $3,650 for a 6-hour day from Deutsche Company. And then another bid for power back was for $3,500. And then Tri-County, who we had before, bid $2,250 for an 8-hour day. And that includes 1 hour of travel. So that was by far the best bid. And I talked to Don, our DPW guy, and he said they did a fine job the last time they were here, but it's been several years. So I'm recommending to the council that we accept the low bid and authorize the work to be done, which will include the west side of 4th Street, priority area, because they had some serious flooding over there, but we'll do more than that. We may not get all of them, but we'll get most of them. So what is the pleasure of the council?
I'd like to make a motion to submit a bid to Tri-County for jet routing the drains.
Supported by Mr. Hoffman. Let's cap that, not to exceed $2,250. Is there support for that? Larry?
I'll support.
$2,250. So Larry's good with that. Any questions on the motion? Hearing none, we have a roll call because it's expenditure of money. Sure. Regular fund.
Trustee Almarante?
Yes.
Trustee Hoffman? Trustee Kennedy?
Yes.
President McDonald?
Yes.
Trustee Sutherland? Yes.
All right, private road amendments update. I think the planning commission should have a public hearing scheduled hopefully soon. And we'll make that amendment at that time. then it will come back to the village council. And then, I don't know, we have a meeting this week?
I think so.
Okay, sounds good. All right, and then, village code adoption, update on that is that I am meeting with the attorney, and I will broach the idea of the adoption of the property management code. We looked at it when we did the fire code, in the building code, when Boca kind of went out of business and we adopted the state building code, we also looked at the property management code, which is, it's a document that the International Code Council adopted. So it's not a unique code to just one community, it's a common code that most communities share. So I will meet with the attorney and have him work on making that part of the village code. Unless there's an objection.
Mike, can you tell us again exactly what it's called? It's something we can read online?
Property management code,
Okay, it's
by the International Code Council.
Okay.
ICC is how they usually refer to it.
Okay, thanks.
It's an expensive book to buy, just FYI, although there might be, library copies of it, I don't know. Okay, moving on. DPW, I don't have anything new from Don, but he'll be busy with the catch basins and drains.
What seems like a lot of rentals popping up around the area, are they ever going to consider doing yearly rental inspections on these houses? Like in Chapel?
That was also a topic of discussion. That was not looked upon favorably at that time. It's been several years. We do have a rental registration requirement, so if somebody has a home, they have to register it and the owner's address with the village on a yearly basis. But we don't have anything beyond it.
Yeah, because they don't have like, there's like a lot of cities, for being electrical, and smoke detectors, GF5, this, that, so on and so forth, they kind of get on those tenants to kind of step up and make sure they're in accordance for safety and all that.
Yeah, you are right. For many years, there were only one or two rentals in the village. And there are quite more. I have no problem with that, but that's up to the village council to give me direction if if we're going to do that. It would make sense to do it when we're doing upgrading our codes, anyways. But I don't know the response. We do have a few residents that have rentals in the village, and we also have some non-resident that I don't worry so much about them, quite honestly. If we regulate them more, that's not a problem.
Does that kind of cover like the old Damascus house, section of how that's behind me? Which, it's not so bad now, but, in the past.
I understand.
That, I moved the ladder because it was nice and.
You have to realize, these are paradigm shifts for the village, though, to be looking at this type of regulation. And it is difficult and time-consuming when you add these into code. So it becomes a matter, it's just more work for all concerned.
Would it make sense to have either like public hearing or a special meeting at some point to address the community, and see what their thoughts are before we proceed with adding notification?
I mean, I understand, Rob.
Residents be concerned about their own property, people have, it's letter, people have stuff in the yard. But there has to be a point where it's, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, I do.
If you're not worried about the house, you're not seeing what happened to you in it.
Yeah, like I said, specifically like the Damascus house, which is, it's kind of like the house, Forest Street that we're talking about now. Back then, that house was that house.
No, I know. It's not our first brush with that type of problem.
Yeah.
Honestly, it makes good sense, and we could include it in the code, and then when we have the public hearing for the code, which we would do before we adopt it, then we would hear pros and cons. But village has changed a lot in composition and residents too. We still have a lot of older residents, or long time, I shouldn't say older, some probably wonderful, but you know, long-term residents, and we've got a lot of new residents too, so.
I mean, we don't want to let Rochester move there by any means.
Well, fortunately or unfortunately, some of these codes
I know.
have that same power, so to speak.
But also there's safety issues though too, because a lot of these rentals, I mean, people don't care about them as much because they're not physically living in that residence, so they're riding out what they're collecting.
That, in some instances,
But for smoke detectors, I've seen a lot of bodies get hauled out of houses. I bet you most of these rentals probably don't even have what the legal code is for smoke detectors. And it's a safety issue for residents and their children.
well, we don't, the village has the state building code. That's, the state construction code is our,
Which the smoke detectors are in the building, code, not the electrical code.
but unless it's new construction or we have a reason to be inspecting it, which we don't have at this time. Annual, we talked about it in the past, and we talked about it, a lot of communities have annual inspections. We were talking about biannual, you know, every couple of years, something like that. Just so that it wasn't too, you know, intrusive into people's lives. And there was a concern that I think Larry expressed it, that what kind of liability does the village have if a renter contacts the village, complains about a landlord, and we get into kind of in the middle of a dispute. So it has to be done right and carefully. And that requires time, effort, and money. So we try to be as frugal as we can, but in light of, you know, the desires of the public, the residents especially, it makes good sense.
I'm just saying, with these rentals, it's just getting worse and worse, it seems they don't care.
I think we all can appreciate that. Okay, so moving on then, to the President's report. We received no Freedom of Information Act requests. We have not received any block grant applications. The only ordinance enforcement item is 4285 Forest at this time. And an update on Roland Hall. They're supposed to begin the renovations and replacement of the brick and the tuck pointing. I received a communication over the weekend from the contractor. He has found the correct brick for the hall. And so he has ordered it, and if it gets here before the end of this week, he will work on it, start work this weekend. If not, it will be the following weekend. So moving on to the trustee and committee reports. Summer Festival Committee. I understand they had a successful Texas Hold'em tournament. I think they made $1,000 for their efforts. Cable Commission, anything new there, Shek?
I don't think there is, but let me check my. Nope, they still are waiting on the audit report, and it's there and showing.
Okay. Decorating Committee, Katie's here. Okay.
Hi, just need people.
Okay. Well, then, mentioning that, there are sign-up sheets at the back.
Yeah, I see somebody
If
signing up.
anybody wants to join, we've got six committees or commissions for the village, believe it or not. And we're always looking for good people. So if you have an interest, you're more than welcome.
You were, when I was talking to you the other day, you said you were trying to get General Motors to get us some good planners. Have you heard any more
No,
about that?
I've struck out on that regard.
Oh, tell them we won't buy any of their cars then.
No, don't say that. I haven't given up. Okay, but the decorating committee, which we're missing a couple members. One of them's temporarily moved out of the country, but hopefully we'll be back. They used to, a lot of them have done added nice little touches to the village at different times. So feel free if you want. There's a sign-up sheet in the back. Planning Commission, we'll probably have a meeting, and we'll look at getting a public hearing date for the private roads.
It's this Thursday, so.
Holly Trail Management Council. It's been busy. The next meeting is June 21st, I believe. That should be a Wednesday. Okay. Main Street. Sherry, you went to a certification ceremony with 2 other representatives from the village. The village was recognized for being there, so it was a good thing.
Leslie and Lori, and I attended, and it was a very nice event. And they did mention us.
Great. Village Park, Mike, we have a meeting coming up.
Meeting Wednesday, I think.
Wednesday, this Wednesday, okay. Community Development Block Grant, we got the monthly report, there's been no change in it from last month. NODA, there are no meetings scheduled for June or July, so that's pretty much status quo. And the Historical Study Committee, where are we with that? Do we have a meeting scheduled?
We'll get one.
Okay. All right. Well, that's all I have. Does any council member have anything else they wish to introduce? And none, anybody else? Final comments? Otherwise, yes, ma'am.
I just had a question about the maintenance of the town itself, the buildings in town itself. I mean, is there any?
Well, the property management code would help with that. And as you may have heard, the village council just authorized a significant expenditure to repair Roland Hall itself. And like, we were thrilled with what Sam did with his place too. And the village really helped him with that as far as streamlining the process and getting him architectural help.
The antique shop, they've done a great job.
At no cost to him.
Like, what about Addison Market and the little adjoining building here?
Yeah, we have not gotten any inquiries in the village in literally years about further use of them. The owners, ownership is an important thing to Americans. You know, when you own property, it's man's home is his castle, and I don't mean it can't be a woman's home is her castle, but if that person doesn't want to use their property right, or use it, they can't force them to if they pay their taxes and maintain it. Maintenance is a difficult issue to do, because one person's idea of what looks good or safe is another person's.
Those pictures of the historical thing look sweet, it's like very Detroit, you know, and it's just no other way to put it, it's run down.
Yeah.
Be nice to see some pressure on that, the commercial aspect.
Well, the property management code would absolutely it would give you the possibility to do something.
But a step towards something's better than 2 steps back and get nothing, you know what I mean?
It was just
Well, we'll get some feedback, I'm sure, on that. And once the word gets out, that it's considered, I'm sure we'll hear from all sides. So if there's no, yes?
I think this might be a good time to extend an invitation to anyone who is interested in the village park. We're in dire need of more committee members and volunteers. There's a meeting at this place at 7 o'clock this coming Wednesday.
And there's a contact sheet in the back for each of the committees, so even if you just want to learn more about it, put your name and phone number down and we'll make sure you learn about the opportunities. Okay, well, there's no further business to come before the council. A motion to adjourn would be in order.
I'd like to make a motion at the meeting this evening.
That's Charlie. Everybody all in favor?
I want to thank
Yeah.
everybody for coming.